guys, it's your girl, Ashley Kirkwood with the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast, where we teach you how to start at the top of the speaking market instead of working your way up from the bottom. During this show, you will hear solo episodes from me, where I'll show you how I have landed and negotiated 5- and 6-figure speaking contracts and licensing deals. You'll also hear from our amazing guests who have grown enormous speaking businesses by utilizing sales and marketing principles that work. If you want to grow your speaking business, listen to this podcast, and then afterwards, head on over to ashleynicolekirkwood.shop and grab my book, Speak Your Way to Cash, How to Start at the Top of the Speaking Market instead of working your way up from the bottom. Ready to dive in? Let's go. Hey, y'all. What's up to the Speak Your Way to Cash family? It's Ashley Kirkwood back again with another podcast episode. But this time, guys, I am actually going to let you listen in to a live video that I recorded. Now, if you're listening to this live video on the podcast and you're like, oh, I want to join your next live, I want to ask you questions, I want to be able to get feedback about my business, then you have to follow me on Instagram at The Ashley Nicole Show, and make sure you're following the Speak Your Way to Cash Facebook page. All right. Make sure you're following the Speak Your Way to Cash Facebook page because that's where I go live. I also sometimes go live in the Speak Your Way to Cash Facebook group, but enough about that. Even though you may have missed it live, you're about to hear it again. So listen into this live episode and let me know what you think. You can always send me an email to ashley@speakyourwaytocash.com. Let's listen in. Hello. All right. Excited about this. My name is Ashley Kirkwood with the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast, coming at you live today with a confession. Okay. We are going to talk about, because we're still in January of the new year. So we're going to talk about the lies, the biggest lies I told myself that held me back in business. And these are things that I repeated to myself. I don't think I said them out loud. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. But these are things that I told myself that really held me back from achieving the goals that I wanted in life, or they stalled progress. And how many of you know that with what we do as speakers, entrepreneurs, experts, thought leaders, with what we do, we can often tell ourselves things that aren't true, but that feel true in the moment. Or we can, in our haste, start proclaiming things that we don't want to happen because we feel like something isn't going right. So I wanted to confess to you guys today on the podcast things I told myself that really held me back that I didn't need to say. And so I'm hoping the point of this is that if you are someone who has a lot of negative self-talk, that you deal with it. Because as much as I can teach you guys strategies, give you templates, teach you what to say to who, make introductions, I know that the number one thing that will determine whether or not you reach your goals is going to be the self-talk that you have in your head. It's going to be the things that you tell yourself, right? So we have to make sure that we're telling ourselves the right information. Number one, the first lie that I told myself was that I needed to be liked more than respected. That was the first one. I needed to be liked more than respected. And let me tell you how this showed up. So this showed up when I had friends that were totally doing things against my value system that I didn't agree with. I would just let it go. I would let it go because I thought I needed to be liked more than I needed to be respected. And I thought that by speaking up and by having a different opinion than one of my friends, it would ruin the friendship. And the truth is, if you can't have a different opinion than one of your friends, if that does in fact ruin the friendship, then that's not a very strong friendship to begin with, right? So that's a big one. Needed to be liked more than respected. This also showed up when I would go to, and some people have to do this, but like, I really don't like going to baseball games. Can we just get that out there? This is another confession. I don't like going to baseball games, but for some reason, every place I worked thought that sending me tickets to a baseball game or inviting me to a baseball game with them, with people screaming and drinking beer and sitting there for 3-4 hours was just the best thing since sliced bread. And for a while, I would just take the tickets and be like, oh yeah, this would be great. I can't wait to do this. And I guess that level of schmoozing sometimes works, but I found that I was able to have better, more authentic relationships at work and outside of work when I started just being honest. Hey, not a big fan of baseball. I'd love to grab lunch or coffee if that's something you're into, or maybe we can find an activity that we both enjoy. Because at the end of the day, people should be able to respect your boundaries at this point. So that was a big lie for me, that I needed to be liked more than respected. That was a big lie I used to tell myself. And once I got over it, it was just so much more freeing. Ugh. Like, because I understand why we have this desire to be liked. It makes sense. It's not wrong. And it is good to be liked. And it is important to have good, fruitful relationships. But it should be authentic on both sides, right? Second lie that I told myself, this is going to be a quick one, quick episode, that I needed more than I had already to achieve what I desired. When I couldn't reach a goal or I couldn't strategically think what I needed to achieve the next level, I would sometimes make excuses. This is basically excuses. And it would sound something like this. Oh, well, of course. I mean, I'd be able to do it too if I had blank. I'd be able to do it too if I had this. Or it'd be so much easier if I lived here. It'd be so much easier if I was promoted. It'd be so much easier if I would have had children earlier. It'd be so much easier if I would have, like, all these different things that I really didn't need. I would make those things the centerpiece of why I wasn't achieving. Not helpful. Not helpful. And you know what it is? I was talking to a friend about this the other day, and here's what it is. It is so much easier to blame. I don't know if blame's the right word. It's easier to move the goal out of your reach than it is to admit that you're not doing all you can. It's so much easier for me to say, oh, I can't do this because of COVID. That's easy. I remember when COVID first hit, child, when I didn't want to do something, it was like, oh, can't go, COVID. Like, can't do it, COVID. Like, it is so much easier to blame external factors on why you can't do something than it is to look internally. Radical self-accountability has led me to making more money in my business. Radical self-accountability looks like, even when it's not fair, even when it may not be my fault, I find a way to make it my responsibility to get to the next level. That is radical self-accountability. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Karen. That's radical self-accountability. And so what I want you all to think about and what I want you all to do this year is get radical with your self-accountability. When a goal isn't working, look at it like a blessing. One of the things I now tell myself is, thank God I found this problem. Thank God I found this as an issue. Thank God I see a gap in my business because I've never met a problem I couldn't solve, either in my own strength, if it's a small problem, or through God who strengthens me. Either way, it's getting done. You know what I'm saying? So wherever you derive strength from, you need to have a mindset that, oh, this is excellent. Oh, wow. Am I seeing a problem? This means I can create, I can find, I can identify, I can leverage a solution to fix it. The issues that should give you more pause are the ones you don't see. Those are the issues that you got to worry about. The ones that you identify are perfectly positioned to be solved. And in my life, I've never met a problem I couldn't solve. Either I could solve it, or God through relationships and other people can get it done. I just never met a problem. Never met a problem. And that's a declaration that I have so that when problems present themselves, I know how to categorize the problem. I categorize it. I try not to catastrophize, like make everything a catastrophe. I try not to do that. So radical self-accountability has been so helpful to me in my business. It's been so helpful to me in my business, and I'm so grateful that that's something that I've been able to leverage. Okay, that was number 2. Number 3, this is a big one. I used to believe that I couldn't change. I didn't have control over my response. Here's how that comes out. It comes out like, this is just how I am. This is just how I am. It is what it is. This is just how I am. Fixed mindset versus growth mindset. I learned early on having a fixed mindset in business does not do anything but stop opportunities from flowing your way. You need a growth mindset. You need to understand, okay, this may be how I've always done it, but if I have to adjust, I'm strong enough to adjust. I'm vulnerable enough to adjust. I'm nimble enough to adjust. So staying in the mindset of like, this is just how I am, that was not helpful to me. These are changes I had to make early on in business. And I'm going to give you... It is here. The Speak Your Way to Cash book is now available for you to purchase. Go to Amazon to get your audio, Kindle, or hardcover copy of the book. And we have a paperback copy, okay? So you can get it on Audible and listen to it. And I read it myself. So if you love the podcast, you will love the audiobook. Go get it now. Speak Your Way to Cash, how to start at the top of the speaking market instead of working your way up from the bottom. A bit about the book. It's broken down into 6 parts, and it is over 260 pages of goodness, okay? Part 1 covers mindset. Part 2 covers getting yourself in the press. Part 3 covers assembling your 6-figure offer. Part 4 covers inviting people to work with you, sales. Part 5 covers delivering an outstanding speech. And Part 6 covers legalities that every speaker needs and how to build a team. I mean, literally, what did we leave out? Nothing. So go to Amazon and grab your copy today. And let me know you did it too. I'm going to give you another one. Thinking that you can't, because in every situation, you have some semblance of control. One trick that I've seen in my life is when bad things happen, the reason why I used to feel so angered or frustrated or distracted by the situation was because I hated feeling out of control. It was when I realized that in every situation, I have some control. If all I can control is my response, I have some control. That gave me that kept me grounded in a sense. Like, okay, I can't control everything that's going to happen to me, but I can control my response, which means in every situation, I still have a little bit of power and authority. So I started working on my perspective. The mindset shifts that you all read about in the Speak Your Way to Cash book or that you hear about in the Speak Your Way to Cash Academy came from me realizing there is a mindset that you can have that will help you grow. And there's a mindset that you can have that will halt your growth. If you complain more than you create, that is going to halt your growth. If you consume more than you create, that is going to halt your growth. One of my prayers this year was that I would see less and hear more. And what that means to me in my life is I want to control what I consume, and I want to hear more from the Lord. I want to be in tune with which direction I should go. I want to feel secure in the decisions that I make because I'm not making them in haste. And I don't want to stew over decisions too long. I want to be able to make quick decisions so that I'm not wasting time in the matrix, like just figuring out like, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do this? Should I do that? The moment I realized, even if I make the wrong decision, I'm powerful enough to recover, it gave me a lot more freedom to make decisions a little bit quicker. And in business, in my experience, it has helped me to not make decisions in haste, but to not make decisions unnecessarily slowly either. All right. So a bonus that I used to tell myself is one of the things I said all the time growing up. I don't know if you all said this to yourselves, but I used to say, I'm not good at math. 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 I couldn't learn a new skill. Another declaration I used to make all the time was, I'm not creative. Can you believe that? I used to say, I'm not creative. And what I learned about that, and I'm going to tell you guys something. I said that I'm not creative because I was not in an environment that rewarded creativity while I was a corporate litigator, which just means corporate trial lawyer. As a corporate trial lawyer, I didn't feel like creativity was rewarded. Most people dressed the same, come into the office, thought similarly in terms of solving problems, sounded similarly, within reason, had similar backgrounds, thought similarly about projection and where they wanted their careers to go, in-house or partner. It was all very similar. So because I was in an environment that didn't reward creativity, and I wanted to be liked more than I wanted to be respected, I then started declaring an inaccuracy over my life. I started saying, I'm not creative. Oh, no, I'm not creative. I'm a lawyer. Oh, no, I'm not creative. I'm an engineer. Oh, no, I'm not creative. I'm an accountant. Has anyone heard this? So if you're in an environment that doesn't reward a trait that really is natural to you, sometimes so that you can be more like your environment and less like the unique person that you really are, you'll start declaring that you're not something that you are. I am unbelievably creative. I have thoughts and they become courses. I have ideas and they become speeches. I have desires and it became a career path. I'm unbelievably creative, and I bet you are too. So we need to be careful when we say what we are and what we aren't, that we aren't saying it to accommodate an environment that we're supposed to stand out from. Another lesson from that is your environment can literally shield you from seeing who you actually are if you're not careful. And why are we talking about this? Because I know that you're listening to this, you're an entrepreneur, you're an expert, you're a speaker, you're someone who wants to sell to corporations, or you want to grow your coaching business, or you want to grow your main business, or you are a consultant and you want to grow your consulting business. And you're like, Ashley, why are you telling us about these lies you used to tell yourself? Because if you aren't conscious of the thoughts that run through your head, then you will unconsciously live a life you don't desire. It's the facts. If I did not start to arrest the negative thoughts that were going through my mind and replace them consciously with positive thoughts that affirmed the life that I really deeply desired for myself, I would still be making excuses about why I can't leave my $300,000 job. And I have. So and not only that, I looked at what my salary would have been this year if I would have stayed as a corporate lawyer at one of my law firms. Far surpassed that. So it matters a lot what you tell yourself. And I'll bring it home to speakers before we close out. If you're a speaker and you're saying, well, my clients don't have a budget. I made a post about this. My clients don't have a budget. Is that the truth? No, it's not. More than likely, Sarah from one department called you and said she wasn't going to pay the rate that you wanted her to pay for your speech. That means Sarah didn't have access to the capital or the budget that department wields. Or it means you didn't position your speech to show Sarah the value that she needed to see to take the money out of the bank account and pay you. It does not mean that corporations don't have a budget. It does not mean that colleges don't have a budget. It doesn't even mean that Sarah doesn't have a budget. So you have to watch your confession. Oh, I tried that before and it didn't work. So many times when I would coach people in the speaking space, I'd be like, oh, I tried, it didn't work. And I'm like, okay, how many people have you spoken to about this? I pitched 10 people. That's not enough, ma'am. And it's a hard truth, but sometimes it's just not enough. Like the sample size by which you are basing all of your conclusions is not large enough. Sometimes that's the answer. Other times you can reposition, but if you're not honest and specific with your words, you'll throw away a whole income stream because of a few people that sold you something you didn't want to hear. Not enough. It's not enough. And that's why I'm talking about this, because I want you guys to know I do a much better job of policing my thoughts now. I'm conscious of it. So when something comes up that I don't want to control my next steps, I can arrest that thought and make another decision. And I want you to do the same. It's so important when it comes to speaking and pitching and doing all of those things. By the way, we are going to do another Pitch Your Way to Cash challenge. If you missed the first one, if you came but didn't really stick with it all the days, if you want to go back through it again, which I highly recommend, people go through these challenges again and again, and they get something different out of it each and every time. It's 100% free. We're going to do it in March, but you can go to www.speakyourwaytocash.com/challenge and sign up for that. Definitely check out the new stuff we have on our shop and be looking out for when we start our ticket sales for Speak Your Way to Cash Live 2022. I think we may have found a venue. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. But hopefully this was helpful. If it was and you got something from it, drop it in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Please rate the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast on Apple Podcasts. It helps us to continue to get the best and the brightest speakers in the world to come on here and talk to you guys. In a couple of weeks, I am interviewing David Newman, who is the author of Do It Marketing and Do It Speaking. I am thrilled about the interview. I've read both of his. Well, I've read Do It Speaking. I'm going to read Do It Marketing as soon as it gets to my doorstep. And I'm excited about it. We have some really cool guests lined up for you this year, speakers who've been doing this thing for a very long time, very successfully, and they are coming to share all their brilliance with you. So how can you help us keep helping you? Rate the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast on Apple Podcasts. Give us a good little 5-star rating. Write a little note. I read all of those, and I'm thrilled to say we have over 40 positive reviews on Apple Podcasts, and we are going to get to 100 this year with your help. All right, guys, thanks so much and have an awesome day. All right, wasn't that interview amazing? If you're anything like me, you have pages full of notes. But here's the thing. Before you head out, I want you to go to facebook.com and join the Speak Your Way to Cash Facebook group. That is where I am. That's where a ton of other speakers are, a ton of other people who listen to the show. We all congregate there and chat. And it's 100% free. Now, if you're ready to take your speaking career to the next level, I have 2 ways for you to do that. One, you can go to ashleynicolekirkwood.com/SYWTC live replay and pick up the live replay. That training is 7 modules, chock full of information. It's crazy. Go over there, read all about it. Or if you want a more personal experience, you already know that you want to be a speaker. You're ready to fully commit and you want someone to walk you through it and save you tons of time Googling and doing it on your own, then book a VIP day with me. You can go to ashleynicolekirkwood.com, scroll down until you see the VIP day section and get more information on that there. All right. Thank you guys again for watching. Please do not forget to leave us a review. That is how we keep this train rolling and get some of the best speakers in the world to get on this show. So please, please, please leave a review. Shoot me a message on Facebook or Instagram, and Facebook in the Speak Your Way to Cash group, Instagram at The Ashley Nicole Show, and I'd be more than happy to chat with you and say hi. All right, y'all have an awesome, awesome day.